What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are about 3 or 4 days from headed to Kansas City. We're going back to Kansas City again to race with Toby and Wyco Racing. And they're putting on a no trailer race this weekend. What that means is we're going to have an 80-mile cruise before the actual race. We meet up at the spot, we draw chips, we figure out all the rules and everything, we go over our driver's meeting. Then you drive 80 miles with the car you're racing, no trailer allowed. So that's going to separate a lot of the full-blown race cars from the street cars, and that's kind of our ball game. So we're going to make the trip out there. It sounds like a good time, and we're going to race with those guys and see how we can do. But before we go out there, we're going to make a big change. We are going to put some bigger turbos on the truck. Now, the turbos I have are 66 millimeter T4 divided flange, basically a diesel truck turbo. I picked them up basically just because I could find a deal on them. I found a good deal on them when I traded my nitrous stuff for it a couple years ago, and it's just what I could find at the time. These new turbos are forced inductions, S371s. They have billet wheels in them. They are extremely powerful. They can make up to 1,700 wheel horsepower. The ones I have now, they're limited to about 1,200, 1,250 horsepower to the wheels. So these new turbos, I'm going to put them on, and hopefully that'll give us a little bit of an advantage, and we can use a little bit more mile an hour down track. You can leave that down in there. That's a normal one. And there's this one. She's a little chipped up. Up church. Just clocking the turbos properly. After we've got everything lined up, gotta make sure they're straight up and down, that way they oil properly. People are gonna think I eat cornbread now. I do, I love fucking
cornbread. Day 1. Where are we going?
We're going to Mexico.
Going to Mexico? Ready to go to Hooters?
Yeah, ready to see some tips. Alright, so we're out here. We have arrived in middle Mexico, and this is way out in the middle of nowhere. You'd never expect to find something like this out here, but we found a good spot. It's a good chance that we might be racing here tomorrow, just on some intel that we've received. So we're going to make some hits here and see if we can get down it. I think we might hit the bad lane first. The left lane's a little bit less rubber on it. So we might hit this bad lane first. We'll see if we can put a tune-up in it and go down the road, and we'll go from there. We're gonna hit 2 or 3 other spots today as well, just in preparation for some future races here in this area. Jock set jigger. So this is the concrete road. It's a brush finish. Typical of what I figured we'd find. The problem is there's a quarry down here at the end of the road and the truck traffic coming out. As you can see, the track's quite a bit out on that right lane. So even though the right lane has been tested in more and has more rubber down, the left lane is cleaner. So we're going to try and make a hit in that right lane and the dirty lane. I think after second round, if we race here, I think after second round it'll get better, but right off the trailer it's going to be rough to get down to the lane because of the amount of gravel and dust and dirt and sand that's trapped in these little teeny tiny. If you look at the broom finish on the road, each one of those little lines is just completely full of sand and grit, and as you go down through there, the tires pick that sand and grit right up out of those little crevices. It gets all over the tires. It's just, you can't hardly get down it. It's like driving on sand. That was our best pass, even though it was really slow. Still the best we could do for here.
What's next, boss?
Next, we are going to drive to the next spot, and hopefully we'll find some food before we make some test hits. We want to let the sun go down a little bit, let things cool off, so we can get some decent data for this next road we're going to. Usually we race there at night, so we want to keep everything consistent, and you don't want to go there during the day when the road's really hot. So we will head to the next spot and see you there.
that good, do you think?
For right off the trailer first round, yeah.
That don't make it any funner or easier to take. Now I have to make me want to fucking sell.
Well, Billy had made a pass and ended up hurting his motor. And these folks were kind enough to let us take his truck to their garage and take a look at it, but we got a long drive home. Made the decision that it's too hurt to race tomorrow, so we're just gonna head home. It is day one since we have gotten home. He's already on a roll. Say hello.
Hi. We're here again, working on this thing. For like the fourth week in a row. Engine coming out. So it'll be fine.
You can see daylight through it.
Alright, so the damage is a broken wrist pin, 2 or 3 pistons. They look like they've been detonated pretty good. They're not broken, but they've been pretty beat up. The block looks to be in fairly good shape. Maybe one cylinder needs honed a little bit, but I think it'll clean up. We're going to have to get a hold of this tune-up and probably have to put an intercooler on it. Trying to make 1500 horsepower with no intercooler is just no bueno. We've tried the water methanol. Hasn't really worked for us yet. So yeah, it's going to need an intercooler. It's needed an intercooler for a long time, really. I got a lot of decisions to make. Luckily, the engine isn't completely trashed, but we're definitely going to have to put an intercooler on it. We're learning still. This is all new to us. We've never had this much power. We never tried to make this much power, but we're trying to run with some of these guys that are at the top of the game as far as the street stuff goes, and we're finding every weak link we can find. Ended up breaking a wrist pin. Not sure what really caused that, but we had it on 28 pounds of boost. It should be right around 1500 horsepower, and it's just one of those things. We're pushing this thing harder than we've ever pushed it. We're trying to go faster than we've ever gone. I've never had anything this fast. You know, it's just one of those things we're learning, and it can get expensive. So we're figuring it out, but you know, trying to run with these guys that are at the top of their game on the street, and on these no prep races, it takes a lot of power. It takes a lot of money, and we're still learning everything. I don't have any quit in me, so we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep grinding away and learning as we go and sharing it with you guys. So I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.